Hi, myself, Ujjwal Boro. Today I'm going to discuss about the Brahmanic and Shamanic traditions. So, what is Brahmanic and Shamanic traditions? Brahmanic and Shamanic traditions in Indian political thought are important for understanding the whole range of ideas which studied interpreted ancient Indian political thought. These two traditions, Brahmanic and Shamanic traditions, are important for understanding the whole range of ideas which studied interpreted ancient Indian political thought. The Brahmanic tradition sometimes refers to as classical or orthodox traditions, and it have certain features largely on account of the fact after lead to some reactions and challenges originating from its own fall and ultimately culminated into very powerful discourse is known as heterodox traditions or Shamanic tradition. Shamanic pertains to something moving, wandering, and also something pertains to labor. So therefore, these two traditions were treated against each other. Now we have uh, discussed about broadly about the Brahmanic traditions. Brahmanic traditions normally applies to the two different types of sources through which these traditions derives. Resources one is textual and other is textual. While two different type sources, there is textual and cultural, the Shamanic traditions were derives resources. Brahmanic traditions have different interpretations, they are discussed below. These have different Brahmanic traditions have different interpretations. They are discussed below. Orthodox versus heterodox. Orthodox pertains to orthodoxy that there are certain texts, theme around which these traditions revolve, and they don't want to make any modifications and change in their positions. Therefore, some sort of orthodoxy one can find in their position, maybe politics, society, economy, inter understanding, and inter world universe. On the other hand, heterodox tradition is a kind of interrogations of orthodox tradition. Heterodox traditions always question about the orthodox traditions or interrogations about orthodox traditions. Under this heterodox tradition, there are three, four important schools of thought. For example, Jainism and Buddhism. Heterodox tradition is homogeneous, but also it has little bit of diversity. For example, Jainism and Buddhism. There are little bit of difference between the Brahmanic traditions and the Shamanic tradition. Astika versus Nastika. Brahmanic tradition is Astika, another one is Nastika. In context of Indian traditions, Astika is one which believes in God or is one which believes in infallibility of Vedas. Astika believes in God and the Nastika do not believe in God, whereas Nastika refer to a traditions don't believe in God and also questions on supremacy of Vedas. Otherworldly versus this worldly. It is believed that Brahmanic traditions have a different worldview, different way to interpret the world, particularly this interdiscourse of dharma and karma. According to these two discourse, what you do or did in this world enable you to hold for salvations after that. You have to serve after that. So this is otherworldly dimension. The entire Shamanic tradition is this worldly and therefore materialism is important characteristics of this tradition. It reproduces such world view which is whatever you do here you will reap the benefit in after that or other world. From this discourse, we have understand that Brahmanic traditions believe in the reward, but Shamanic traditions don't believe in reward. So, spiritual versus material. Brahmanic traditions believe in spirituality. On the other hand, Shamanic traditions believe in material world. Many other people have interpreted about the Brahmanic and Shamanic traditions that are mentioned below. According to Panini, Nastika is one who does not believe in other world and Astika believe in it. According to post-Buddhist and pre-Christian traditions, meaning of Astika as one who believes in infallibility of Vedas. According to Monu, Nastika vilifies Vedas. Then for emergence of a traditions in Indian political thought, creations of orthodoxy is acceptance of absolute validity of Vedas. Some systems which are usually treated as orthodox in Vedic sense have notions to do with Vedas both in form and content. Conventional classifications of obvious limitations, but one advantage it indicates about the great role of Vedic authority in Indian political thought. Then Brahmanic tradition is associated with 6 different systems of philosophy, and most of them are declared Vedic. There are Purva Mimamsa to Uttar Mimamsa, Samkhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaishika. Authority of Vedas is decisive for only Purva Mimamsa and Uttar Mimamsa. Brahmanic traditions believe in infallibility of Vedas, so Vedas are discussed below. For Brahmanic tradition, it is a knowledge par excellence, it is sacred and revealed knowledge, but in concrete terms, it stands for vast body of literature handed down through oral traditions known as Shruti. They are not homogeneous in style and contain early composed oral songs or eulogies by those who call themselves Aryans or Arya. Vedas or Shruti, retentive memory transmitted to later generations. All oral composition called mantras, and they are one great division of Vedas. Other one is Brahmans. It is in prose form. It came much later. Mantras they have come to us in 4 complications or samhitas: Rig Veda Samhita, Samveda Samhita, Atharvaveda Samhita, Yajurveda Samhita. Rig Veda is oldest and foundations of Vedas literature. They consist of hymens dedicated to different desire like desire for cattle, food, safety, victory, health, progeny, etc. Later hymens cosmological speculation. Brahmanic tradition have some sources. They are mentioned below: Shruti, Smriti, Shastras, and Purans. Also, it have some features that are continuity, holism, hierarchy, normative, and social. Brahmanic traditions are maintained through hierarchy, holism, and continuity. Shamanic tradition. This tradition was emerged through. Uh, Now we have to discuss about the Shamanic tradition. This tradition was emerged through centuries of times. It questions and interrogated all the features of Brahmanic tradition. These traditions have 2 connotations. One pertains to labor and other pertains to Brahman. So, Shamanic traditions refer to 2 schools of thoughts in India. One is Jainism and another is Buddhism. But Shamanic tradition is also known as heterodox traditions. Under heterodoxy, the Shamanic traditions discuss with reference to 3 schools of thoughts: Jainism and Buddhism. Jainism and Buddhism is heterodox nature, Gnostic, and materialist. Features of Shamanic tradition have also some features that are ahimsa, moksha, rejections of Veda, denial of creator, no belief in rituals, and no belief in caste system. So now we have arrived in conclusion. We have the Brahmanic and Shamanic traditions have mixed legacy in modern time. On the other hand, Brahmanic traditions was sought to be reselected during colonial freedom movement. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.